If you are looking to feel more confident, then my friend, you've come to the right place. I've got a few tips for you today on ways that you can boost your own confidence in yourself as well as in your abilities so that you can feel more empowered in your own life. Now, before we dive into ways that you can grow your self confidence, I think it's important to talk about where does confidence actually come from? Because I get this question so much. And it sounds something like this: Amy, isn't confidence something that people are just naturally born with? No, it's not. Now, I do believe there are some people that are naturally more predispositioned to be confident based off of their life experiences and their childhood, but I don't think any of us are actually born with the confidence gene. I think it's something that we cultivate through our own lives based off of whatever it is that we do and how we actually see ourselves. And here's the good news: you can actually begin programming your own confidence in yourself just by making a few little tweaks to the things that you're already doing. But wait, don't turn off the video. You see, I would be a terrible YouTuber if I didn't ask you to like and subscribe to my channel. I am on a mission to empower women across the world, and the more people that engage with my content, the more YouTube pushes it out and the bigger impact we can make. So I'd love to invite you to join our community and to help this initiative by liking and subscribing if you find any value on this video. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to talk about two areas today: self-confidence and confidence in your abilities. Now, self-confidence is everything that's internal, the way you think about yourself, the belief system that you have about yourself, whether it's empowering or disempowering. And then confidence in your abilities is all of the things that you do externally. So let's start over here with self-confidence. How do we start to grow our self-confidence? Okay, so more than likely, if you are watching this video, there's a possibility and a probability that you might struggle with your self-confidence. And you might also have a disempowering belief system about yourself that sounds something kind of like this: I'm not good enough, I am terrible, I'm a failure, whatever it is. It is a negative programming or a negative message that takes your confidence and starts to make it lower and lower and lower. And it adds in this layer of self-doubt and self-sabotage potentially into the things that you do externally. So how do we start to shift this and how do we start to grow it? Well, if you're someone that struggles with a negative belief system, I want you to know one thing: it's not your fault. In fact, so many of us struggle with negative thoughts and negative behaviors and negative programming that has happened over time through repetition. This is how we build that belief system. And so, in order for us to create something new, in order for us to have confidence, we get to program in a new belief system about ourselves. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick just one thing, one negative thought, one negative behavior, and put an immediate stop to it. Now, look, I know this is easier said than done, but in order, once again, for us to get something different, we get to do something different. And we can only do that if we're really honest with ourselves about our own thoughts and our own behaviors. So pick just one thing. Maybe it's a negative thing you say to yourself. Maybe it's a negative action you do that you know isn't really serving you in the way you feel about yourself. And make an agreement with yourself that you're just going to put a stop to it. I just talked about this on the Rise Up Buttercup podcast in the episode about how to cultivate self-love. And why is this so important is because when we start to continue to allow ourselves to do the things that aren't serving us, we just keep building that negative belief system even more. So putting a stop to it is going to make a huge difference. The second thing I want you to do is to insert a new positive replacement for whatever that negative was. Because whenever we remove something, we want to put something else in its place so that we can start to program in this new pattern, this new thought, or this new behavior inside of our subconscious mind. And when we do this, by the way, the reason I'm asking you to pick just one is because if you try to do too many things at once, your brain's going to get into overload and it's not going to do anything at all. So start with just one thing, put a stop to that negative habit, replace it with a new habit, and then get this, through repetition, we're going to be able to start building that new confident belief system about you. You're going to be able to start building this thought of, wow, maybe I can do this, and maybe I am capable, and maybe I am whatever it is for you, whatever you want, instead of the negative programming you might currently have. And here's the thing. Repetition is going to be key here. You've probably heard me talk about this before. Affirmations only work if you work. They are not something that you just say one time and all of a sudden you feel incredibly confident and powerful with who you are. You've got to continually show up over and over and over if you want to be confident and if you want something different. So that's how we begin to reprogram and grow our self-confidence. Now let's take a look over here at confidence in our abilities. These are the things that we do. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a quick fix for you here, because the reality is the only way you're going to be confident in doing something new is by doing it over and over and over and over again. Oh my gosh, that repetition word is coming back. For example, you can't get good at playing the guitar if you never pick up an instrument. You can't be good at speaking on stage if you never get on stage. You can't be good at relationships or technology or sports or any of those things in your life if you don't actually put yourself in a position to do those things. So the only way that we grow confidence in our abilities and the things that we know we're capable of doing is by actually doing those things. We get to show up and do them over and over again. But here are two ways that you can start to shift your perspective around the things that you do to eliminate some of those negative thoughts and feelings that might come from the self-confidence. First, I want you to remind yourself that everyone starts somewhere. Nobody skips the line when it comes to confidence and abilities. Everyone starts somewhere. So think about it this way. When you are brand new at doing something, it is your first time doing it. So have a little bit of empathy, a little bit of compassion for yourself, and remind yourself that, hey, I'm not supposed to know how to do this well. I'm not supposed to be great at this yet, because it's my first time doing it. And if you can remind yourself that and release the pressure that you're putting on yourself, then you'll be able to show up day after day after day with a little bit less of that emotional charge from maybe the fear or insecurities that could come along with this. The second thing I want you to do is think about any other situation in your life that you now are very confident at doing that before you didn't think that you'd be able to do it. So find something you've already done that you're proud of, that you know you've been able to accomplish, and look back and say, okay, if I know that I've been able to do this over here, then of course I can do this over here, or I can at least learn how to do that because I already have the confidence to know that I've been able to finish something and do it before. So that's how we start to build that confidence in our abilities, is shifting the perspective and reminding us that it's first through repetition, second through having a little bit of compassion with ourselves, and then third through reminding ourselves of things that we've already done. Because if we've already done something else, then why wouldn't we be able to do this too? So my friends, I hope this supports you today. Once again, if you got any value, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you are someone who is ready to take your confidence to the next level, look in the description below and download some of the free products that we have for you. Once again, I am on a mission to empower each and every one of you to live at the highest level possible. And above all else, I want you to remember that you are one of a kind and absolutely worth it. And I'll see you next time.